We're getting new support for Armed Dragon and
Armed Dragon.
Armed Dragon.
The new Armed Dragon Thunder.
Armed Dragon.
I guess we're gonna Chaz it up.
That's it! Killing a big bang attack!
I can't. No puns. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ben 10,000 yugioh, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero. And today, guys, we're going to be going a little bit old school for this channel. We're going to be doing a Edo Pro deck profile, and we're going to be showing off the new Armed Dragons in action. Last week, it was announced. Various Yu-Gi-Tubers, as you probably saw in the intro, talked about the new Armed Dragon stuff. I figured you guys probably wanted to see it in action, so I figured, you know, let's experiment with this and see what we come up with. I'm really excited to show you guys. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys that we have merch in the description below. Make sure you check out my Teespring and let everybody know that you're a trickster. I'll see you guys on the other side of that replay footage. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that replay footage. I know that, you know, it's been a while since we've done a video like this, but I'm excited about it. So, here we go. Let's I'm gonna push this back in so you guys can hear me better. Alright, so first things first that we want to go over is you've got each of the new Armed Dragons. I'll kind of go over them as we come across them. But here's the cool thing about this deck. This deck definitely has a whole fourth of the deck is all starter cards. That's right. In this particular deck, the Dragon Rulers that are in this deck are actually all starter cards. The reason why is because the new Armed Dragons level 3, 5, and 7 all have effects they get off of being used as cost for dragon effects. So, and we'll go over them as we go. But so that's why every one of these cards you're seeing here in the top row, these are our starters. Everything in the second row here is the cards we want to send to the grave. And the rest of it is just support, you know, based on the archetype or based on generic dragon support. Excuse me, guys, I need a drink. Anyway, so first things first, let's go over the new Armed Dragon level 3. So what does this card do? Well, for one, like all the other Armed Dragons, they all count as the original Armed Dragon that they are the upgrade to. You know, 3, 5, 7, and 10. These guys all change their name to those Armed Dragons while they are on the field or in the graveyard. That can be relevant. I also believe that you can tag them out for the old school ones. So for their tag out effect, which I'm going to read here. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one level 5 or lower armed dragon monster from your hand or deck. You can use this to get the OG armed dragons, which are these guys right here. I'm going to put them together, this little block right here, down here. There are other armed dragon cards that I just didn't use, but I'm gonna talk about them here. You can use their all 3, 5, and 7 all have the tag out effect, and you can use them to go get these guys because they count as the originals while on the field or in the grave. So basically, it tricks the old school ones into going into thinking they're being summoned by their originals. Which is really cool, really neat. I didn't opt to go for that because I didn't feel like it was worth it to go for the originals. I just went for the retrains. And then, of course, Armed Dragon level 3's effect has, if this card is sent to the graveyard, to activate a Dragon Monster's effect, you draw a card. When I first saw this, what I thought it would do, at least the way Edo Pro is treating it right now, I don't think we have any official rulings on this yet. But the way Edo Pro is using it is it's not counting itself. So, for example, if you play Armed Dragon Thunder and then you pitch a monster and then you trade this in, say, for Armed Dragon Thunder level 5, it doesn't count itself as being sent to the graveyard for an effect in that scenario, so you don't get the draw in that case. Only if it's being sent for the cost of another dragon monster, even though I don't think that's how it's worded, but that's how it's being ruled right now on Edo Pro. If there's an update and this is actually more broken than the way I think it probably should be, then, that would be kind of cool because then they'd all be pluses, but, they'll probably work the way Edo Pro has them. Realistically, I'm just, being nitpicky. Alright, then we have Armed Dragon Flash. This spell is another starter card for you. This is your Unexpected Die or your E-Tele, emergency teleport card. Basically what this does is it special summons a level 3 Armed Dragon monster from your deck in defense position. So, this guy. Excuse me. And that's, so there you go. Basically, these are all your starters, and of course, like I said, all of the Armed Dragons, 3, 5, and 7, all get effects based on being sent to the graveyard by the effects of other dragons. So that's where these guys come into play, because basically, if you can get stuck in the hand with a bunch of high-level dragons. Especially on Edo Pro, because Edo Pro does it, like, with the shuffling, it's what they call true random, at least that's what an admin told me. So basically, it's going to happen. You're going to get hands where you have nothing but high-level monsters in your hand and you can't do anything. That's just an Edo Pro thing. But in real life, when you're shuffling this, the good news is if you're playing this build, you literally have 1/4 of your deck as starters. So you'll likely be able to play the game very highly. This one we have is Armed Dragon level 5, Armed Dragon Thunder level 5. Like I said, all three of these cards, 3, 5, and 7, have the effect where you ditch a monster in your hand, and you get to summon the next level, essentially. But this card's effect individually is that if it's sent to the graveyard for a dragon monster's effect, you get to add a level 5 or higher wind dragon. So, that being said, basically this card is also a Tempest Searcher. So you can, if this card gets pitched off for any of the other dragon's effects, you get to go, okay, well, I can go get Tempest and get another beater if you need it. And like I said, Lightning the Dragon Ruler of Drafts is also another starter card. But basically, this card will go off and search you a level 5 or higher wind, which can get you 7 or level 10 if you so desire. Then we have I'm going to move this guy over. Then we have the level 7, and the level 7 one's effect, like I said, he shares the same summoning conditions of 3 and 5, and the same special summon effect as far as getting to a level 10 Armed Dragon. The other weird thing about this is that you could actually go for a lower Armed Dragon if you want. I don't know why you would want to do that, but he technically can let you go for level 10 or lower. I don't know why you would do that, but his effect is he gets you an Armed Dragon card, which includes the spells and traps. So, but there you go. Basically, as you're tagging in and you're using the other Armed Dragons, you're self-replacing, so that way you're not giving up any resources. I threw in the little Felgrand package in here because I figured, these cards can be pitched off to activate these cards' effects. So there you go. And then Goliath locking out the extra deck seemed really good. Arcbrave being able to bring back level 7 and set up like Xyz's play seemed really good. And then we've got Armed Dragon Thunder level 10, and this card is a beast of a monster. So basically, if he's summoned by an Armed Dragon monster effect, he gets the following effects. He has one attack. He becomes Armed Dragon level 10. That's kind of meh, but if his attack is a 10 or more, possession of Scar cannot be switched. If his attack is 100 or more, it cannot be destroyed by battle. If its attack are 1,000 or more, once returned during the opponent's turn, quick effect, you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard, then target a card on the field and destroy it. And if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack. That's pretty good. It's Trident, and it's basically Zodiac Trident, and it gets bigger. And then if it gets to 10,000 attack or more, once returned, you can destroy all cards on the field. So he becomes basically Judgment Dragon. So that's really useful. I think you're mostly going to be using the Trident effect because basically that's what you're tagging out ultimately into. Your goal is to tag out to get to this guy, and he's a disruption to the opponent. And he's also kind of hard to get rid of because he's a battle stopper, or he doesn't die in battle. And then, of course, not being able to have his possession switched, so no creature swap, no mind control, no change of heart, no snatch steal. I mean, I know some of those cards aren't legal. No Big Eye, no Borolo Dragon. Yeah, none of that's getting rid of this guy. At least in the terms of your opponent taking it. So that's really useful. Also, all of the Armed Dragons don't have any like summoning conditions. Like you actually can summon this card off of like Monster Reborn or Red Eyes Darkness Metal. It just won't have its effect, the following effects. It'll just be a 3,000 beat stick. But hey, you have it. I'm not saying you'd want to go that route. It's just saying it's an option. And then of course you have Red Eyes Darkness Metal because it's kind of a dragon staple. You at least got to play one copy. Ash Blossom because it's a necessary evil right now. Return of the Dragon Lords. This card is very useful because, like I said, sometimes you end up bringing back your used up level 7s off of Arcbraves. So it's also this card's weak spot is destruction by card effects. So basically, Return of the Dragon Lords kind of like covers it in that department. Then we have Extravagance because your extra deck isn't really required. It is something that can be needed, so I play doubles of all the Xyz monsters that you actually need, and then the rest I don't really care. Monster Reborn, Armed Dragon Blitz. All right, so this card is kind of like Monster Reborn, or Monster Reincarnation, if you will, but it's target an Armed Dragon monster you control. Take one monster with the same name from your deck or graveyard, and either add it to your hand or special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions, but the special summon monster cannot attack directly. You can only activate one Armed Dragon Blitz per turn. You can special summon the monster the turn you activate. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this card, except dragon monsters. So basically, once you use this card, or before you can use this card, like if you got to stay in the dragons, which is fine. Then we have this busted card, Armed Dragon Lightning. This card is kind of like Rhoda, as well as a permanent attack booster. So basically what this card will do is it has one of two effects. If you control an Armed Dragon monster, you either get to permanently give that Armed Dragon monster attack based off of its level. So, if it's, it's 1,000 attack if it's level 10, it's 700 if it's 7, etc., etc. And that's cool. It's a permanent gain after it resolves if the opponent gets rid of it later, they don't lose, the Armed Dragon doesn't lose the extra attack. And that can be useful, especially if you're trying to get Armed Dragon level 10s, the new one's effect off, or you blow up the field. But the second one's a little more useful because basically you get to add an Armed Dragon from your graveyard to your hand with a level less than or equal to the Armed Dragon you currently have on the field. So that's really useful. But I said it was a Rhoda. It's more like a Monster Reincarnation without a cost. But you guys get what I'm saying. The point is you go plus, and then you get to have more resources so this card can pop your opponent's stuff. And then you have Back to the Front. This is just for the Felgrand package, as well as, bringing back, like the level 7 dragons, because you know our rank 7s are kind of our extra damage cards. Like I said, the extra deck can be whatever you want it to be. I just threw in some cards I thought would be useful. I mostly went for Big Eye and Metal Flare Dragon. So basically to finish them off, because this dude can get like really big, like massive. Like you can easily get him to 4,000, 5,000 as a beater. So, you know, basically what you basically end up doing is you do as much damage on your turn as you can, and then at the end of it you make this card, and then they have to decide, you know, what effects they want to use. And of course he's got the opposite protection as him, so he can't die in battle, he can't die by card effects, which can put your opponent in a precarious position. There are other Armed Dragon cards that this deck can work with outside of the OG ones here. I don't know why that's there. But yeah, like there are other Armed Dragons in the game that that deck can use, but you don't really need that. And also there's the Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. This one gives it's target an Armed Dragon monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack for each Armed Dragon monster in the graveyard with a different name and an equal to or lower level than that monster. But it cannot inflict battle damage to your opponent this turn. You can banish this card from the graveyard to target one Armed Dragon spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only use the basically. This is an attack boosting trap. It's also to help you get off level 10. It's also to get you back your Armed Dragon spells. Can be useful. I honestly don't think it's all that useful. That's why I didn't opt to play it. I played it in the first couple times trying to figure out how the deck worked, but I think this deck's going to be meta? I mean, I don't think it's going to be meta, to be honest, but I obviously probably am not playing the best build of this either. This is just me trying to give a first impression of the deck and let you guys kind of see it in action, kind of get a feel for what it does, and then one of you guys can go ahead and break it if that's something you want to do. I just wanted to play around with it and see what I could come up with. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the new Armed Dragon support in action. I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I hope you are too. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Share some strategies, whatever you can come up with that might help this deck go to the next level, so that when people come to this video, we can all use the comments as a resource and all come up with a way to break this thing. Anyway, guys, I'm Ben 10,000 yugioh. I'm your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.